back, man. It's good having you, man.
Thank you.
It's been a couple of weeks since we got back into the studio, but it's good to have us all here together again.
Sir, episode,
one more time.
What, 4 or 5?
Episode 5 right now.
Episode 5.
Today we have Lucca Toledo, one of my good friends, and we met him a couple of years ago through soccer, and today we're best friends. We do everything together. And I want you to share your story on what you do with solar, what you do with your work, how you got started, where you come from, and just let us know a little bit about more, like where you came from, your story.
For sure. First of all, guys, I want to thank you guys for having me here.
Of course, man.
You guys are a really nice setup, which is really cool, and it's good for me to talk about what I do and my story. It's always good just to put it out there.
For sure.
Right, I appreciate you guys. I hope we have a blast today.
For sure. Thank you, man.
So, as Jonathan said, my name is Lucca, and I think we met a little more than a couple of years ago. I think it's been
like 5-6 years.
Yeah, maybe something like
Yeah.
that. But it's been a good journey since I actually came here to America. So I'm Brazilian like Jonathan. Are you Brazilian too?
I'm Brazilian, yeah.
So we're all Brazilian.
I'm American, actually. I was born and raised here. My parents are Brazilian, so Brazilian blood.
Same
He
thing.
didn't even
with
ask
him.
me.
If
So,
you
yeah.
ask, I'm Brazilian.
So I moved here about 7 years ago, 2016, and I actually first came here to play soccer, which is like what everyone really does when they come here from Brazil. I went to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in Parkland. So a little bit about my background in America. I was in the shooting and all that,
Wow.
the whole stuff. Yeah, the whole stuff happened and whatever. I was actually supposed to go back to Brazil before that happened, but since that happened, I actually was able to stay here. Just kind of like getting something good from something really bad. But at the end of the day, it worked out for the best. So after that, I went to college, played soccer for college for a couple of years, 3 or 4 years, but it was just not for me anymore. So I was like, not college, soccer. It's not for me anymore. So I was just like, let me take a different step now. So I've been trying to do, everything on my own since I actually went to college and moved out of my house. And it's been a good journey. I've done so many things, and Jonathan knows, like, crazy type of jobs.
You worked at Domino's?
Yeah, we worked at Domino's at first at some point, and then we went and worked at a valet place. So we were like, drove all type of cars. It was pretty cool. It was actually what inspired me to get the car I have today. So it was
Nice.
all of them were really good experiences and they're definitely the reason why I'm where I'm at right now. So yeah, as Jonathan said, I do. You've already mentioned it, right? I do solar right now, which is business has been growing a lot recently. It's been out there for a while, but it's just getting really big right now. We're to the point where everyone really knows about it.
Yeah, I feel like lately, I don't know if it's been like the past year or two, I've been hearing a lot about solar.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah,
about
no, a lot of people have, and
Yeah.
it's like, it's crazy the story of how I started. It's really weird, but there's a lot of the reason why people know a lot of it right now is because there's a lot of door knockers, and I'm sure you guys have heard about what door knockers are. People that go, it's very self-explanatory. People go up to your door,
Yeah.
knock, and try to sell you on it. So yeah, talking a little bit about the background of solar, how I started it. It was there was this one guy who owned the company back when I started working with him, and he actually knocked on my house. He has a lot of money. He didn't really have to go up to my door and knock my house and try to sell my dad or me or whoever was the owner, the solar. But he was just there because he was driven by it. He loved door knocking. He loved doing that. So that inspired me a little bit because he knocked on my door and he was just like, "Look, I need you." He didn't try to sell me solar right away. He was like, "I need you," and I'm like, "What do you mean need me?"
Mhm.
Like, he's a tall white dude. I'm like, "Whoa, like, chill out." And then I was about to go watch a Flamengo game, which is the team that I support in Brazil, and me and my dad, we have this tradition where we watch the game together. So it was literally about to start, and Jonathan knows how I am crazy about it, and I don't miss a game or whatever. And then I was just like, get out of my house. I just don't want to talk to you right now. He's like, I need you. I'm like, dude, like, what do you mean? Like, I need you to come work for me. And I'm like, he's like, you can make 6 figures this year. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I was like, I was just all blown by it. And then he was like, look, let's do this. I don't want to sell you on solar right now. all I want to do is bring you in next week so you can actually, so I can train you on how to be a millionaire. And I'm like, okay, like, that caught my attention. And at the time, I was like, I'm still in school, but at the time, I was just a college guy that was, taking my time going to school and working at valet. So I looked at the guy and I'm like, should I believe him? Should I not? I took the bait and I went in. And I saw the environment. It was pretty good. And from there, that's when I started doing solar. Like, that's what got me into it. And I was like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm going to try it. Like, it's something that catches my attention, and I'm going to try it.
And this was how long ago when he first knocked on your door?
That was, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, something like that. Or maybe a year. I don't know. I'm not really good with time, but I would say 2 years, a year and a half, something like that. But it's weird because I've always wanted to be, well, Jonathan knows me for a long time, and he knows I love talking, and I love, I'm very
Outgoing.
I'm very outgoing, and I have my way with the words when I'm trying to persuade people, and I'm trying to make them be an influential person. That's what I try to do, right? So I've always wanted to be a lawyer or a soccer player, which every kid in Brazil, if you guys know Brazil, it's like the soccer country. So, if every kid wants to be a soccer player, so I wanted to be a soccer player or a lawyer. So when I got here, I made that my goal to become a lawyer, and I think I still do want that a little bit, right? I'm not 100% sure if that's gonna be the way I'm gonna, I just live life by the moment, by the present. So it's weird because it's obviously something very different, solar and sales and being a lawyer. I don't know if it's that different, honestly, because at the end of the day, you're selling the jury, right? You're trying to sell it so that people understand that what you're saying is the truth. But yeah, I'm taking a different pathway, which is been really good for me.
Dude, honestly, just like a little bit from I got from that is you in life, we're all really young. Us four, we're really young. I'm 21 years old, you're 23.
Yeah.
He's 20, he's about to turn 21 next a couple weeks, right?
I'm the oldest.
Yeah, you're the oldest. We are able to mess up right now. We have time, a lot of time to risk it. If you want to be a solar millionaire, if you want to be a life insurance millionaire, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a soccer player, if you want to be anything you want to be in life, we're young enough, and we're in a country where we can be whatever we want to be in life.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that you say that, because I know you don't know what you're going to do for a fact in your future, but what you know is that you're investing your time in right now, today, in the right craft.
Yeah.
And even though you're not going to use this today, maybe like in 20 years from now, but you're learning, you're getting experience. And one thing I'm a firm believer in is in Jesus and God. God's going to put you in the position you need to be every single day that you need to be.
Yeah.
So, for example, today you're going to go through this, tomorrow you're going to go through that. For in 10 years, you already have experienced these type of things. So I just want to give you a little bit of courage, Don't be scared about what you're going to do or what you're not going to do, because you're going to find your way through life. And I know you have the capacity to become whatever you want to be. If you want to be freaking owner of SeaWorld, bro, you could become it. I know you can, because your heart is driven to success, just like ours is as well. And that goes to everyone in here. What I wanted to know is, how do you start your company? Today you have your company with Solar, right? You with your partners.
Mm-hmm.
What got you motivated in starting your company, and how's it been going so far?
Yeah, so everything you said it's literally what I live by. I mean, we are all, independent contractors, so we know what the struggle of the life is. You have to go out there to chase what you want. So yeah, that's right. I mean, I don't really know what I'm gonna do in life for the rest of my life, or I don't know if I'm gonna be solo for the rest of my life, what I'm gonna do. But definitely, it's waking up every day and being like, okay, like, I'm gonna chase what I want.
Discipline. It's all being disciplined. He talks about it all the time, Michael. You really have to be disciplined, because when you're self-employed, man, it's so easy to just stay in bed and not do it and leave it for tomorrow. One thing I talk about all the time, all the time, I already said it on one podcast, I'm going to say it again. If you work for someone, and you're scheduled 9 o'clock and you have to leave at 5. You're going to get there at 8:59, 8:55, and you're going to clock in at 9 o'clock and you're going to stay there till 5 o'clock and leave when your time to go home.
Yeah.
If you're self-employed, if you say you're going to do something, you have to
You
do
have
it.
to do it, yeah.
When you say you're going to go to an appointment, you have to go. When you say you're going to go to dial, you have to dial because you have to respect yourself
course.
more than you respect someone else's company. Self-employment is about building your own success and about discipline, man, and it's really hard and really easy to get distracted from that, and he talks about it all the time, man. It's really easy to get off that focus, but
Yeah.
I know we're very disciplined, and what you want in life is what you chase,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but going back to your question, yeah, I started my own company alongside my very good friend Gabriel. We actually we've been friends for a long time since the shooting. We're friends in high school, so we've stuck together. But the reason why I started my own company is just because I've been kind of I've had bad experiences with especially with that guy, the first guy that I told you guys about, the one that brought me into solar, and some other guys that I had trouble with, along my solar and shore solar career. What inspired me was that. It was just because I've brought so many people into the solar world, and I'm always been like, okay, like I don't want those people to go through what I went through, so let me start my own thing and be as honest and as open to all the guys that I bring in, so that they can be at the same page as I am and not go through what I went through, because I know there's many guys out there that are still gonna, especially those guys that I'm talking about, or even other guys, are gonna bring in people and try to win on them, like trying to make money on them, or try to bring into them into a toxic situation where they're gonna make much more money and not, under the table. And there's a lot going on in sales that that we all know it's dirty, but I'm trying to make a way where it's less dirty. It's why I started my company. It's to like have something structured nice, so I don't
One thing
pollute again like they're doing.
One thing I know about solar in a lot of industries, man, once you're a business owner and you're a manager and you're in a position where you have to lead, you're not going to only get paid off your own work. In insurance, we call overrides. For example, he was the first one to get into the insurance business. Then he showed him, and Danny showed me. So, for example, it's not a pyramid, but it's like a team. So we're all a team under Michael. Michael gets overrides from us.
course.
Anything I sell, Michael gets a percentage of.
Yeah.
And I bet it's the same thing with you. So it's not really about using people to build your team. It's about growing. It's about growing because they have the opportunity to grow as well, and that's
win-win.
just what I wanted to say.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you do everything by the book, and if you, of course, there's going to be overrides. Of course, there's going to be money made. That, for example, if you brought him in, there's no way he's going to make. You're not going to make money on top of him, but it's open. Like he knows that. He knows you're going to make overrides.
Transparent.
So transparency is the key, right? And that's what I try to build my company is transparency, right? I tell my guys every day, like, if something happens, if something new happens, I'm telling them before I even make a decision. So it's all about that. It's all about being honest to your guys and building the team, because now I know they're going to bring some other people to come and work with us, and then that way I'm going to make more money, they're going to make more money, and the kids are coming in also going to make more money. All right, so that was the whole purpose of actually opening a company, is try to get away from the bad stuff.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think is really a key benefit of getting solar panels for a homeowner? Why do you recommend people going solar?
It's a good question. It's I have solar in my house, and I think it's very beneficial because of one real thing is I don't know if that's what people really see, and if that's the reason they really go solar, but it's an investment. Okay, there's a lot of reasons why people do go solar. Some people are looking for a lower monthly bill than what they're paying for FPL or whatever their electric company is. Some people are looking for, I don't know, the looks and making people envy, and people come by your house like, oh, looks so modern, I want that too, that as well. People are moved by greed as well. So there's a lot of reasons. I think the main reason is because it's an investment, right? So you're not only paying for something that you're using, which is the light, you're also making money on that, right? So every solar works like this. So if every monthly payment that you make towards the solar, the equipment, goes into the equity of your house. So let's say you buy a solar system, you're financing a solar system for $50,000 for 25 years. Now, your monthly payments, I don't know the math, but let's say it's $200, right? Every time you make that monthly payment of $200, it goes into the equity of your house. So if you're thinking of for 5 years or 10 years, if you decide to sell your house, all the payments that you made in towards the solar, once you sell the house, you make all that money back. So with FPL or whatever electric company you have, those 5-10 years that you paid towards electricity, you'll never see that money again, right? So it's an investment. You're always getting that money back. So you're paying for something that
How do you get it back?
You sold me.
So when you sell the house, for example, your house is now worth $500,000, okay? But you got the solar panels for $50,000. They're worth $50,000, but you only paid $15,000. This $15,000 that you paid towards it goes into the equity of your house. So when you sell your house, now your house now worth $500,000 is worth $515. Plus, obviously, every house that has solar, once it's installed, it goes up by 5% here in the state of Florida. So that's another, I don't know, do the math for me because I'm not really a math guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But it's
Calculator.
It's another, let's say $10,000-$15,000 plus what you already paid, right? So it's a lot of money that you get back, and I think that's what it differentiates from
25,000.
So so then 25 plus 15, that's what, 40, right? So $40,000 that you gain just by going solar, instead of actually paying $40,000 towards the electric company that you never see that money back.
Yeah.
So,
I got a question. Why does it increase the value of the home? Is it because it's like newer? Is it because it replaces the electricity that goes to the house?
So that's a really good question. So think of it like this. So if you have a house with solar, and then your neighbor, who's Michael, does not have a house with solar, and then Jonathan is looking for a house, and he goes to both of you guys' houses, and you have solar, so your expenses are fixed. So you pay $200 for your solar system that generates all the light that you need for your house. So now he goes over to Michael's house, and he's like, look, how much you pay for electricity? And Michael says, oh, sometimes it's $300, sometimes $400, sometimes it's $150, sometimes $200. I don't really know. FPL sends me the bill, I pay. So now Jonathan's going to look and be like, which house do I really want to live on? The house with the lower expenses, where I always know it's always
a fixed rate.
A fixed rate. It's a predictable payment. I always know what I have to pay. I can't prepare myself for that. And then he goes into Michael's house, and he doesn't even know how much he's going to pay for electricity. His expenses are always growing. With solar, it's a fixed rate. With FPL, their rates are increasing every year.
Okay.
I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on it, but I think it was about 12% increase in their rates for FPL, and then I think this year was about 20%, and it's always increasing. So you see an increase of I like to be conservative. I say every time I go to a homeowner's house, I say it's an increase of 4% every year, but it's not the reality. So that's why it brings on equity to your house, value to your house. It's because it's lower expenses, all that kind of stuff, just everything that I explained.
Makes sense. Got it.
Do you have any questions, Mike?
So yeah, I had a good one. I know there's different types of solar, so how do you stay updated on the advancements in the solar industry, and how do you keep stay on top of it?
Yeah. So I live for solar now. It's weird. It's just every day I get home, I'm watching YouTube videos about influential people in solar business and how they sell it and how what they know about solar. So that's how I stay on top of it. Technology is always it's
evolving.
It's always evolving, and it's you can't really count on the future. So when if I'm a homeowner and I'm shopping for solar, I can't be thinking of, okay, what if in 10 years from now there's better panels? If you're always thinking there, you're never gonna buy it, because now in 10 years from now you're gonna think, what about the panels that are gonna come out in 10 years from now?
Same thing with insurance.
So
Same thing with
there's
insurance.
you got to think about what you have right now and what's the best option to do. If you want to stick with FPL and have them raise your rates every year, or you want to stick with something that is fixed.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know, there's warranties for solar, right? So if God forbid anything would happen, you replace with the newer material. So.
Yeah. Have you came across to where because we're in a business where we can go into a home and the person really just can't be helped. You know, they're already taken care of everything. But like from what you're telling me, it sounds like every single person can be helped. Every person that you get in front of, they should be getting
The
solar.
opportunity to get help.
Do you know what I mean? So like every person that we sit in front of, let's just say Joe has $1 million worth of insurance, you know, and I don't like it's impossible to help him. He's paying $15 a month for it, and we can't beat the price anywhere. Okay, with you, I feel like it's like, yeah, look, FPL, you pay 300, 400, 150, everything's up and down for you. This is $200 a month fixed. You don't got to worry. You could keep your lights on all day. You don't got to worry about it going up.
I have a question off of that as well. So you can answer both questions. Can any single human being, like even if the person's 99 years old, get solar? Because in our industry, like for example, if like they're 89, the rates change. Is there like what's the qualification for a person that wants to get solar? Do you want to answer that as well?
So it's imagine if everyone thought like that. It would be amazing. I think I would be a billion.
Yeah. But you know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean, of course. I mean, everyone can be helped by solar, but there's like obviously some people there are the exception. So
Like-
I would say, because our goal when we go into a house is to lower that monthly bill so that the person can see the value right away, right? Because there's not everyone is gonna think of the investment that I just told you, and not everyone's gonna think of like $20 a month. Right now, it's gonna save me that much money.
Mm-hmm.
People sometimes they don't think in the long run. Oh, sorry. Sometimes people don't think in the long run. They just want to see the benefits of like right now. So if somebody has a $80 FPL bill, I mean, and I can lower that by $5-10, what's really gonna be the benefit for that person right away? Obviously, in the long run, there's gonna be benefits. But
The equity thing.
yeah, but that person's not gonna be able to see that, right?
Okay.
Unless he's very educated, and that's, you know,
Yeah.
you know how it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's either that, or if the person, if how you said, if somebody is kind of like in their 90s or very old in some type of way, are they really want to finance something for 25 years?
Right.
Right? Like, it's like, yeah, I mean, if you finance it for 25 years, then you pass away, and then you pass the finance to your kids, your house to your kids, and it goes to the kid's name. It still benefits them, and it still benefits you. But at the end of the day, are you really going to want to finance something for 25 years if you don't really have that much time
Right.
on you?
Mhm.
Right? So obviously it's beneficial for everyone, just like insurance is. And
Yep.
I have a life insurance. I did it a little bit before Jonathan started doing it, so which is frustrating, but it is what it is.
It's not frustrating. It's what Sean's mom, so that's okay.
It's good.
I'm curious as to like what objections that you get. Like if they're similar to us. So when let's just say you door knock,
Mhm.
What objections do you normally
Yeah.
get at the door?
So we don't. The one we get the most is we're not interested.
We love
That's
that
in
one.
everything. That's in everything.
favorite.
He's the best at the one that I'm not interested.
Yeah.
What are you not interested?
I'll ask you later what's your
sure.
answer, what's
We'll-
your rebate.
we'll
to
go
that.
over it.
Yeah. But we get a lot of objections that we get obviously not interested. We get I don't have enough money, or I have to talk to my wife,
Yep.
or it's similar objections. It's I don't think it's gonna benefit me, or I don't think.
How do you cope with these objections? What do you do to
Yeah,
get
there's-
overcome?
So we train on those objections every day. So we have like answers for all those objections. We have scripts and everything that you're supposed to say, or that you can say if you're in a bad situation. But it's always trying to implement how solar really works, because there's only 3 reasons why people are not gonna go the solar route. It's one, either they're misinformed, which they heard something that it's not true about solar, or like something like, oh, there's a down payment, which there really isn't, or I don't know, my insurance company is gonna drop me, or something of the kind. So that's misinformation. So those people are closed-minded because they heard that, they believe the person who told them that, right? That's one reason. Second reason is because they lack information, because they have no information whatsoever. So they don't know about solar, they don't understand it, they don't know anything about it. So that's one reason why they're also not going to go. So there's 2 reasons. The third reason is ignorance. If you're an ignorant person, if you're closed-minded, if you don't want to hear anything about it, you're not going to do solar.
Mm-hmm.
That's with everything. If you're ignorant, you're not going to want to get a life insurance.
In insurance, we call it as 20, 60, 20. 20% of the people are that way you just said ignorant. No matter what you tell them, no matter what you say, what you do, they're not going to get insurance. The other 20%, which at the top of the scale, is 20%. That no matter what you say, they're going to get it. If you say everything upside down, they're going to buy. And the 60% in the middle is where you make a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? People that lack knowledge, people that are uninformed, people that are on the wall, and they just need that little push of which is information on what the really how they're going to be benefited from getting the product, which is either solar or life insurance. And that's where you really make.
Chuck also talks about it, how like people don't want to be sold, they want to be helped.
Correct.
So it's like I feel like he goes over that with us. It's like a lot
lot.
of times you can go to a door or go into an appointment and like the person can feel that you're just trying to sell them. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
We've been selling. I mean, this year we changed kind of our way of selling insurance. Last year they started. I started this year. Just like he said, we're here to help them. And the other day, a couple months ago, we were in Orlando, us three, and he goes, "Bro, I sold X amount of dollars," which was a lot. And he goes, "I just kept repeating everything I said back to back to back, mimicking because I just wanted to help the person and find them the best solution to their problem, which is preventing their family against foreclosure and leaving their family in a better situation for the last days of their life." And then he says, "I just mimicked that." So, for example, if you have a mortgage of $300,000 and you know that they can't afford that, we're not going to give them your $300,000 face amount. We're going to find you something that's reasonable, that's cost effective, that fits in your budget, so we can help you out to protect your family once that last day is to come. And I think that in every single industry, instead of really selling to make your money, which is your commission, and just trying to help, like, listen, I'm not here to make money on top of you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you solar because X, Y, and Z. You're gonna be benefited from X, Y, and Z in the long run. And if you're interested, we could do a quick application here today to get you started, and then I'll come back and forward you the information to see if you were approved or not.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we like to say in solar. I don't know if it's the same way for you guys, but commission breath, right? If you have commission
That's
breath,
literally what we talked about on a podcast. I was like, people could feel it.
Yeah.
Like you walk in, you speak, people can
feel your commission breath. So it's really about help. Sometimes I even go into somebody's house and I'll tell them, look, it doesn't matter what you know. Let's say I'm offering them $150. They want something cheaper. I'm like, look, I don't make money on commission.
I tell them the same thing.
They pay me to come here and talk to you and see if I can help you out. Right? Get a white paper towel, throw it at the wall, see if it sticks. Tell me a number. Right? If it sticks, I can call my manager, see what I can do. You know.
I say the same thing.
I have a good question. So like, with insurance, it's easier for people to cancel a policy and then you get a chargeback.
Right.
How does that go with solar panel? Like if the person gets a solar panel installed, you know, like what, they're just like, nah, never mind, I changed my mind, and then do you have to pay the money back?
So with solar, since it's like, I don't know how big of a finance is with the life insurance. I don't know how big.
Your persistency is probably so much better because
life insurance is this. You already have it. You pay X amount of dollars per month to be covered for the X amount of dollars, which is your face amount.
Yeah.
So, for example, my face amount's $100,000. I pay $25 a month. I'm going to pay $25 a month if I have a whole life policy for the rest of my life. If I have a term policy, if it's for the term years, the amount of years. We get commissioned of 9 months advanced, and then months 10, 11, 12. What is it called?
it's
It's kind of like
back end pay. or
Yeah,
something
back
like
end
that.
pay.
So if they pay the full 9 months, then we get the 10, 11, and 12.
Right.
So for example, like I started a year ago, so just recently I've been getting like my past
Back
10,
ends.
11,
Nice,
12.
nice.
So
Pretty cool.
yeah, so I just wanted to know how that works with.
Yeah, so for us, there's a 3-day right cancellation. If you don't cancel in 3 days, being homeowner, then you have to pay a cancellation fee.
Which is?
A little high. Sometimes it can be really high. Sometimes it's just not as much. But,
Yeah.
you know, I've recently, actually today, I got clawed back for like $2,500, which is a lot of money. It's just because there was complications in the project where there was some panels that needed to be added that couldn't be added because the roof is too small. So we're kind of just, we finished that project. The project's closed, so we're going to try to do it with another installer. So they clawed that money back. Not all the money, because I received a little more than that. So they clawed that money back. So they were like, okay, look, we're already on the process of pulling permits and all of that. So we're gonna need that money back of all the work that we've done so far. So there is clawbacks, as you know. I don't know if it's more than what you guys, but
Do you pay out of your pocket or your company, or
so we-
you pay with future business?
you can do both. So usually what I do is
Same
just
thing.
I don't spend all the money that I get.
Right.
So I kind of just because I never know what
What can happen?
Yeah, so I just take the money out of what I already received, so it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
affect the future
Right.
pipeline.
Right.
Right. So yeah, it's cancellations are they happen, but because people don't buy the product, people buy you. So
People buy from who they like
Yeah.
and trust.
Yeah, so they'll buy your idea, they'll buy what you're saying, they buy you as, they buy me as Lucca, not me as Solar Guy. So I try to make my cancellation rate as low as I can. I
Right.
think I've
Right.
only had one cancellation and I've signed a lot of deals, so I think I'm good.
Yeah. What's your as far as like the guys that you train and everything? When do they say, okay, like I can't help this person? Like when they're talking to the person, how do you teach them and tell them, okay, like that's it, just leave,
Yeah.
don't waste your time anymore?
Dude, I come across people where I go into their house and I say, look, and I present the whole thing, and then I put side to side. Like right here, solar, $150, 25 years, all the house value, $50 less than what you're paying for FPL right
Yeah.
now. And then on the other side, I put the FPL bill that you're paying right now, sometimes $300, whatever, average, let's say $200. And then I show them in 25 years how much you're going to be paying with FPL, 25 years how much you're going to be paying solar,
that you
the
get back.
savings, what do you get back? And I put it literally side to side. Look, I mean, honestly, Mr. Homeowner, which one would make more sense for you, right?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, solar for sure. Good. So as long as this is affordable for you, let's go ahead and trying to get you pre-qualified. And they'd be like, no, I want to think on it, or I don't think it makes sense. I'm like, dude, listen, we're here for 2 hours. I explained you everything. Obviously I'm not gonna tell him that, but
Yeah.
that's when you just can't really do anything anymore. You're just
Yep.
like, look, take your time, do your research. As far as when you're sitting down, that's the limit. That's when you're already gone through the whole presentation and you show them and you literally put side by side and it's right here. Like,
How long does the process of getting approved take?
getting
Pre-qualified.
approved, like 2 minutes, 3-4
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. No, that's pretty quick.
And the 3-day grace period is if once they get approved, they have 3 days to cancel.
Yes.
So,
So-
instead, what we do, we have
30-day free look
we have
period.
we have a 30-day grace period. So, for example, once we sell someone insurance and they need to think about it, okay, listen, I know you need to think about it. You need to speak with your wife, right? Perfect. What we can do today is we can get an application done for you to see if it can even help you out today. See if I can get you approved with X amount of dollars for X amount. You have 30 days to think about it. What I'm going to do for you today as a special is I'm going to bill you next month. Today's July 10th. I'm going to bill you on August 10th. So you have 30 days to think about it. I'm going to give you a call back within a week to inform me that you are approved of this insurance or if you are not. Once I give you a call back, you're going to have talked to your wife. You're going to have thought about it a lot, I think. And you decide if you want to keep it in force or if you want to cancel. If you don't want to keep it in force, I'll help you cancel. If you want to keep it in force, we're already good to go. I could see if I can help you out, if you got approved or not. And if you do get approved, you'll receive the policy in the mail that you should keep safe. So all I need is your driver's license to get that started. And they'd be like, oh, okay, perfect.
Yes.
People are going to do what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
That's another thing we learned. If you tell them, like,
That's
it's
big.
crazy,
Yeah.
go grab your checkbook, they're going to go grab your checkbook.
That's
Go
'cause-
grab your license, or they're going to grab it
It's
for
because
you.
think of this. People are used to work hourly jobs, which they're told to what to do. So if I'm at my desk and I'm working and I work at, I don't know, at an office in Miami, and
Yeah.
my boss comes in here, he's like, look, you have to do this, go do this right now. He's gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
So people are used to that's an everyday thing for them. Somebody tells them to do something, they're gonna do it. So
Yeah.
when you're selling, if you tell that person to go ahead and do that, they're gonna do it. So like, look, Mr. Homeowner, sign right here.
Yeah.
Sign right here. They're literally gonna do what you, and that's
Yeah.
crazy. You feel like you're manipulating someone, but at the same time, you're obviously not, because the person they have their own right to do whatever they want to
Yeah.
do.
Right.
That's so funny because I remember when I first started and like I was like I barely knew about insurance. I barely knew how to sell. And then like I have random people giving me their routing and account number and I'm like,
we
what
live
am
with
I
social
I'm
routing
like, what am
account,
I
driver's
doing right
license.
now?
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah. On
I
this
was like, I
computer.
look like I'm 10 years old and you're giving me
Yeah, right, exactly. No, I felt the same way, and all the knowledge I really know about solar really comes from the guys that I've worked before. So I'm, obviously I went through bad experience with them, but I'm very thankful for everything they taught me.
Right.
So it's like, obviously I went out and looked for my own information, but they taught me a lot. So I felt the same way when I came in like you. Like I was like, look, how is someone gonna buy from me when I look like I'm like 20, 19, 18, whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm coming in? How are you gonna trust me and give me the social? Like, social is a big thing.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like it or not. It's like
I'm
well,
like, I'll give you mine. Look, if it
Yeah.
makes you feel better, I'll give you
exactly.
mine.
I do that all the time. Like, look, my driver's license right here. You have my address. No, I don't do that anymore because you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Danny,
it's
have any
crazy.
questions, Danny?
Cool.
Do I have any questions? You actually stole my question. I was gonna ask. I'll go back to it though. So you knock on someone's door, boom, you go in, you sell them whatever. You said you have to sign them up for them to pre-qualify or whatever.
Yeah.
How long does the process take for you to get started and start putting the solar on the roof?
Yeah. So the process is, well, I've worked with companies that have done installations in 18 days, which is not good.
Oh, it's
not
I
good?
thought that was
good.
quick.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
not good at all because that means that they're doing something that is not right, which means they're not pulling permits, they're not doing the right job, or they're doing something shady.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had I've sold on homeowners. Thank God it was only 2, I think, that were with this one company that actually went bankrupt. So that company was not pulling permits. They were doing jobs without really, without right. So
Oh.
they're installing jobs, that had no permits and
Too quickly.
what is it called? The whole, I forgot the word. The permit plan. It's what it called. It's what's called. It's everything is when you see there, everything is supposed to be that way. But when you go up the roof, everything isn't. Different places, or the electrical is not done right.
Mhm.
So that's like the person is screwed. Like dude, like the homeowner is screwed after that's done because then
Why?
because you know how hard it is to pull permits. It's super hard. So if you're doing a job without pulling permits, you're gonna get like they're gonna fine. Yeah, they're gonna fine you. So you're gonna have to pay. You as a homeowner, you're gonna have to pay for that. Besides, you're also paying the lender, right? So it's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But going back to your question, it's I tell homeowners to give me at least 3 months, just because it's a seven step process. I go into the house. I present to them the opportunity. I show them how it works. I sign them up. After that, I actually have to go and do a site survey. Sometimes I do it myself, which is taking pictures of the roof and then taking pictures around the house and stuff like that. Or sometimes I send somebody to go there and do that. After I do the site survey, that's when I actually start the process, right? So that's those 2 first steps we're taking. Now it's 5 more, which is actually now I'm going to file, not me, but the company's going to file for permits. And there's going to be an inspector that has to go there and see if if the roof is in good place, if it's going to support the solar, and then that's the process that takes the longest is the permits. Usually depending on the county, it'll take a month and a half, 2 months, and then after we have the permits, we already file for installation. So we just tell the homeowner, look, we already have your permit plans, we have everything that we need. Do you like to design it like that? Do you want to change panels and put it on the front or put it on the side, or however you want to do it? And obviously, it's going to get affected a little bit by the production, which plane it is in the roof. So sometimes we kind of just don't give them a chance to like choose.
Right.
But it takes about 3 months, and then once your panels are installed, then for us to get PTO, which is permission to operate, that's when it turns on the system, and that's another week and a half, 2 weeks. So 3 months and a half.
Do you guys do apartments as well? Because I understand, house is one roof, one person, but apartments is a bunch of different people.
Yeah. So for apartments, it's a commercial. So either we have to do the whole building, or we don't really do apartments because then you have to own the roof. So you can't.
Are those big jobs, like as far as commission goes?
Commercials?
Commission.
No, commercial jobs, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, huge commission.
So like businesses.
Yeah, commercial. That's what we call commercial. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy amount of money. It's like it's because you can't really see it, but any Target you go to, any Walmart or any big places, they have solar on top. It's just because it's like it's
so high.
a little. There's a little like what is it called? Patio, yes, that's what it's called. A patio. There's a big patio over there when they put the panels. So you can't really see it from down there. But those jobs right there, there's a lot of money. You would be looking at, like that could be a 60 to 80 kilowatt system, which is like ridiculous money. It's crazy.
Last question, because we've been on for about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to get paid once you do the solar, if you want to answer that? And if you want to answer, like, say the numbers, you could do that as well.
How long does it get for me to get paid?
Yeah, so for example,
Do you
like,
get residual?
yeah.
So there's two type of payments. It's M1 and M2. So how you said you get the money after 9 months, whatever it is. We get the money like this. So when we signed up, we signed a deal. So the commission was about $10,000. Then the following week on the Friday, we'll get 40% of that, sometimes 30, which is the M1. And
Which is
that
3,000,
could be
4,000.
3,000, 2,000, 4,000. Sometimes it's less. It depends. So we get that the following week, and then once the job is done, installed, and everything, and it's working, that's when we get the M2, and that's the rest of the money. So if the commission was 10,000, you got 2,000 in the front end.
You're missing 8.
You're missing 8. You get 8,000 at the
Once
back
it's
end.
installed. Perfect.
So,
You have anything else you want to share on the podcast? Anything comes to your mind?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to say something just for my future, Lucca. Which is,
Yeah.
I was coming here.
Maybe on YouTube forever,
yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying. I was coming here. I was
shine
like,
right now.
I'm look back on this and be like, where I am
Right.
right now to compare to where I'm gonna be in the future. So I would like to say that I hope that I find my way, and that I am in good position where I watch this again in a couple of years from now. Ask myself not to stop trying, of course, and then just keep trying every day. Just keep waking up and have the mentality that I have today, which is like going after what I want. And
Become successful.
yeah, just trying to be successful every day. Because the thing I'm most afraid of, it's not being successful.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear. It's not succeeding. So.
Dude, last thing, just to wrap it up, is I want to tell you and all of us, one thing you can control is how bad you want something. And I know how bad we want to become successful. Like, I know. I pretty much really with each other every single day, so I know. Same thing with you guys. How bad you want to become successful is unbeatable. You can't control that. How bad you want to win, I'd say that all the time in foot volley. How bad you want to win is what you can control. So if you have that mentality, like Kobe Bryant, like you really gonna do whatever it takes to become successful. It's impossible not to become successful. So I want to wish you good luck, bro. I know that you're gonna become successful. I know for a fact. It's just a matter of time, and you have to be patient because it's not in your time; it's in God's time. It's whenever God wants it to happen. Sometimes we might not realize something might not go right, but we don't know the outcome that would have been if it had gone right. So what I do is I want you to have faith in God always, have trust, because in His time everything will go as planned, and that's for all of us. Even if people that don't believe, I know that your time is gonna come whenever He plans on it.
Yeah.
Everything was written before you were born, and it's gonna happen. So you have to have faith always. Yeah. Keep on hustling. Keep being the kid that you are, brilliant, smart, happy, outgoing, and always, we all always know what the right thing is to do. If you have that weird feeling on should I do it, should I not, go with your right feeling, go with your right gut,
Of course.
because it can bite you in the butt. So I want to thank you for being on the podcast with us, bro. You're a brother to me. You know that. These are my brothers too. I work with them. I'm with them pretty much every single day, and I plan on being with them for the rest of my life. Yeah. One thing you said in the beginning was, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be in the insurance business all my life, just like they are. But one thing I know is I'm learning stuff today. I'm getting money today for the future. So I'm really thankful to be in this opportunity that we are as a team. And I know that I want to be with us for the rest of our life, because you are who you surround yourself with. Yeah. And I'm super happy to have you on, bro. Thank you again so much. And it was a pleasure. And let's go get money, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'll say something. I like what you guys do, and I really do. And I've been seeing Jonathan's success with life insurance and everything. Mm-hmm. I would love to see how it is. Like, I would love to try it out.
Yeah, so you told me.
If you guys are willing to take me in for a little bit, and
for sure, man. It works.
I'll bring in some money.
Let's go. Thanks, Lucca.
Yeah, thank you, guys.